wanted to talk a little bit about never getting the woman that you want, never getting into any relationships at all throughout your life, and its effects on you, man. A lot of people don't know how much it could actually affect you physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally as a man to never be able to get the woman that you want, to never be able to successfully make a woman fall in love with you, to never successfully be a desired man, to have nothing but failures and losses on your record when it comes down to the women that you want, right? Or even any women overall. The reason I say the women that you want is because I believe those probably hurt a lot more than, not getting women you don't really care about, right? Because men like me, I really can't get any type of women. Apart from being unattractive, I believe there's something spiritual. Um, there's something maybe metaphysical, maybe you know, interdimensional. I don't know, or maybe I'm just really that unattractive. Sometimes I could cope, and I could go into believing it's something spiritual. But truth be told, it's probably just my face. But when you never get the woman that you want, it really does something. It really does something to your mental state. It really does something to your confidence. It basically eradicates any confidence you have, because confidence comes from success. Confidence comes from experience. Confidence isn't something that you could just spawn in. Confidence is like a blade. You have to sharpen the blade. You have to shape the blade. And the only way to get that is through actually having success, right? But when you don't have any success, you don't sharpen that confidence. You don't maintain that confidence. You don't expand upon that confidence. On the contrary, when you have no success, that confidence gets squashed out. And it is going to be real hard to try to regain any confidence that's been squashed out. And there is a certain point after enough rejections, and screw rejections, just after enough losses in life, enough times not getting the job, enough times not making it into the college, enough time getting just humiliated and hit with B-pill missiles, your confidence it'll go down to zero. It really will. You will be walking around the earth with zero confidence. And that's something that could happen to you when you never get the woman you want. You never have romantic success. Women are appalled by you. Women despise you. It's like 2 a.m. right now, and I've just been thinking a lot about how I feel like my life is coming to an end. Like, I don't know why I feel this. I've been feeling this for a couple of months now, where I feel like I'm living my last couple years on Earth, and this isn't any crazy. I don't know why I have this feeling like my life is coming to an end. Like something's gonna happen to me where I just cease to exist, and I don't even mean this on some like, oh, you know, Earth is gonna be impacted by an asteroid, or no. I mean it. I mean, like, something's gonna happen to me personally, and I'm gonna just like vanish. I don't know why I feel this way, and I've been trying to shake this feeling for a while, because whenever I feel it, whenever I get this feeling, it makes me want to give up right away. It makes me want to throw the towel in right away. But I'm realizing that that's just that's a consequence of never having any success with women. Because when you have success with women, even if you break up, even if you guys only date for a couple years or a couple months or something. I like to believe that when you're a guy that has relationships, you're able to look back upon those relationships and find some sort of life fuel, some sort of copium, some sort of, you find something in that past that's beautiful that helps you keep pushing, right? That helps you in those moments of doubt. But when you're like me and you've never had a girlfriend, none of the girls you ever try to get, any of the girls you try to court, they never reciprocated it. They never positively responded to you, and it became your girl. Then you're gonna have none of those reserves. So when you have no romantic success, you have nothing to look back on. You have no wood to burn in the fire. You have nothing. You have no reserves. You have no life fuel whatsoever. And that's how I feel. Like right now that I'm having these thoughts where I just feel like my life is over. If I had some success, romantic success in the past, then maybe I'd be able to just tap into that and have that push me and help get me through the day. But I don't have any of that. You see, anytime that I try to get a woman, it always ended in failure. It always ended in me being heartbroken. It always ended in me scratching my head, wondering why. Thinking that I did something wrong, feeling like I was inadequate. And truth be told, uh, it was never really anything that I did. It was just who I was, right? But just those failures, the lack of success, it sticks with you, man. It really does stick with you. Like sometimes people they ask why I don't go out. They ask why, hey man, you're young. Why don't you go out to party? Why don't you go out and try to get women? Because I have no prior success. I haven't had any success in the last 15 years. Why would I have success now? Why would I have success then? I don't have any confidence. All my confidence was burnt to the ground and turned to ash through all those rejections that I had. When people ask me why I don't pursue women, because every time I pursued women, they made me realize why I didn't pursue. I'll never forget this one time when I was in the 10th grade. I went to this kind of like positive, kind of hipster, I don't even know how to explain it, type of high school where everybody was just like, I don't know, it was very hippie. It was very yeah, you had a couple of ghetto rogs, but um for the most part, they kind of try to fit into this very positive type of environment. The complete contrast to the prior high school I was in. And I'll never forget, there was this girl, and she was a real pretty girl. She was just my type. Like if there's a girl that's my type, I wish I could. I'll show her. The thing is, I forgot her name. A part of me kind of remembers her name. I think it started with a J. It's just been so long ago, and I've gone through so many things from here to then that for me to remember people's names sometimes it's impossible because of all the things that I've gone through, right? So I'll never forget. I remember seeing this girl on campus, and she was just so beautiful. She was this tan skinned, brown haired, kind of nerdy, geeky Mexican girl, and she was real pretty. She wore glasses. She had like this beautiful brown hair, and she had bangs, and she had just this look that I really have always been attracted to. This kind of like nerdy glasses, Latina girl, tan skin Latina girl, and her personality was just real pretty. Like she wasn't a ratchet. She wasn't overly loud. She was kind of like a shy girl. She was kind of like a quiet girl. I mean, I wouldn't say shy because some Chad knows the real her. Some Chad knows the extroverted, happy-go-lucky version of her that I never got to get. She only gave me the stern kind of. I mean, not really, but I remember just like seeing this girl, and me and my dad, we would go after we finished like work. We would like on Saturdays we would go to this restaurant to eat, and she worked at this restaurant. It was like a hamburger place, and I remember like we would see each other on campus here and there, right? And sometimes we would say hi to each other. And then I saw her working there, and I went to go like get my order taken, and she's like, and we just started talking. We're like, oh, what the hell? I was like, what the hell? You work here? And she was like, yeah, I work here. Like, that's crazy. Do you come here often? I'm like, I usually come here like on Saturdays. Blah blah blah. So we kind of started building this like rapport. We kind of started, you know, like we were just kind of like we knew each other, right? But me being me, as soon as a girl's nice to me and she's pretty, like my standards of pretty, which are pretty low, I fall in love, man. Or I at least like try to court them, or would try to court them, right? So for like a month, we were kind of just like talking here and there on school campus if we came across each other and stuff. And this was new to me. This was rare to me. So when a girl actually did this, I would, I guess I would interpret things a little wrong. So I remember, I, one day, school ended, right? School ended around 3:15 around there. And I remember walking, and I stumbled across her as I was walking back. And I was like, oh snap, you walk this way too? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, can I walk with you? Can I walk you? And she's like, yeah, sure. And for like, I'd say for like around a week and a half, I would like, I would try to get that walk with her, right? I would try to put myself in a position to like trying to court her, trying to be persistent, trying to put myself in there, like the red pillars say, man. That's what pisses me off about the red pill. That's why I freaking hate red pillars, because they lie. They lie to these desperate men. They lie to these men who are like me, who are just seeking a girl, who are just seeking to feel like I'm a human. Like even Shrek, a ogre, got a woman, and it's like me, a human. It's like it's insane. But I'll talk about that later. So I remember like for like a week or week and a half, I would just like put myself in the position that the red pillars tell you to, like, like be persistent, seek her down, like try to be like with her or whatever. And I'll never forget. For like a week and a half, I had walked her. We had walked. I would like wait for her and like try to interact with her, right? And this girl that was like pretty positive with me and like would say hi to me here and there. So I thought, maybe if I just keep on being persistent, you know. And I remember like I was waiting for her and I never saw her. Like she never arrived that day, right? So I just kind of like, I don't know, kind of defeated. I like waited. And then by the time like all the school kids were like pretty much gone, like I just walked home and I was like, oh, maybe she didn't come to school that day. Maybe she has, I don't know, some homework to do. And the next day comes around, and again I'm waiting for her, trying to be persistent, putting myself in the environment, putting myself in the place like the red pillars tell us to do. And I remember looking across the street, and she was walking, and she took a right on a street that she never walks down, because we would walk on like the west side of the street, and she like walked on the east side of the street. And then she took a right on a street that like she didn't walk down, and she told me that was her path, that she'd been walking that path, like the old path that I was trying to get involved with. She said she'd been walking there like for the whole school year. So when I stepped up and I tried to be that guy and try to put myself in a position to talk with her and court her and walk her home, you know what she did? She changed the way she walked home just to avoid me. And I'll never forget seeing her do that. Seeing her do that. And it was like, wow. Like, here I am, this guy who's just trying to get a little bit of romantic success. And this girl, like, changed her entire walking path just to avoid me. And people expect you to go through that and have confidence. People expect you to go through that and have this, like, desire to keep approaching women. So every time I think about, like, being persistent and trying to get a girl and change, be persistent, do all these things, you know what? You know where my brain goes? It goes back to that event. It goes back to that time that I tried to be persistent, and all it ended up with was a girl changing her entire walking path just to avoid me. And I remember, like, after that, I was butthurt. Like, I was just confused. I was hurt. I felt stung because I was, like, really trying to make it happen. I was like waiting for her after, like, class, like, hoping, just trying to get some time with her. And, like, I mean, the conversation was awkward because she didn't like me ever. She was never attracted to me, right? And like I said in the past videos, when a woman isn't attracted to you, she's just going to be closed off. And maybe she'll just, do a little bit of small talk. But, that's just all those failures, just not having any romantic success. It just, it starts weighing on you, man. It starts weighing on you because at the end of the day, you're a man. You're a guy. You're a man who wishes that he could have a loving girlfriend, which could lead to a loving wife, and that could lead to a loving family, and you could live this this good life, this textbook life. But when you have no romantic success, that's not an option for you, because look what happens. Look at what happens. When I was trying to go down that textbook path, what happened? I got hit with a curveball. The girl did everything in her power to get away from me. I was coping, man. I was coping hard that day. She didn't arrive. I was like, maybe her parents picked her up. Maybe she got a ride today. I was coping. I was digging deep. I was grasping for straws. Very little did I know this girl had preemptively thought out, how do I shake this ugly sub-5 off me? And you know what she did? She came up to a plan and she changed her entire walking path just to avoid me. And then I would see her sometimes at that restaurant. And, like, I was just not really, I wouldn't really, like, I would just say what's up here and there. And then, like, sometimes she would try to talk to me. That's what's so annoying about them. They're so evil. They're so evil that this girl knows deep down that she did all that to avoid me. And she's still going to try to, like, spark up conversation here and there. Like, just take my order, bitch. Just put the fries in the bag. And it's just, it just gets hard, man. It just gets hard the older you get to just find things to keep going sometimes, Like, obviously, I'm not saying you should live your life around women, but damn, I can't even get one? Not even one? Come on, man. Like people always talk about, man, you shouldn't live your life around women, man. You know who you're telling that to? You're telling that to a guy with maybe 5 girlfriends in his past. You're talking to a guy who's never had one. You're talking to a guy who's never even had any success. Like some things just don't apply to men like me. Like I think since I've had no women, I should be focusing on women. Because people look at me like I'm a weirdo because I don't have any women, but I do try to get women. They just don't want me. I've just never had any romantic success. And I'm sure there's plenty of men out there who could relate. I'm sure there's plenty of men out there who have even more brutal stories than me. And just not having any romantic success to look back upon, it hurts, man. It's real hard to try to fight off some sort of illness when you have no beautiful memories to look back on. You have nothing in that life fuel reserve tank. Like most guys, they have that. They're going through a rough time. They think back to the time they were on holding hands with the girl and, riding a roller coaster or something. They go back, they dig deep, and they're like, you know what? Life's not that bad. But you know what? I have to look back on nothing. Nothing but defeats, nothing but humiliations, upsets, losses, embarrassment. I've had so many moments like that where I try to get a girl and it doesn't lead anywhere. You know, I have nothing to look back on. I'll never forget one time I was in Mexico and I was like at this dance and there was this girl and we started dancing. We were dancing the whole night. And I was like, man, maybe I found something. Maybe I found something I could try to work with, right? And like the night ended and we went to go get some ice cream. And she ordered two ice creams, right? And there I'm thinking one's for me, one for her, right? And she gets her two ice creams and she's like, you have a good night. And she leaves me. She just leaves. She takes the other ice cream. Who knows who that's for? That could be for Chad. That could be for her little bastard son. I don't know. How am I supposed to know? I was just trying to do the right thing and then like she leaves and then I'm like, okay, I start coping. I'm like, you know what? Maybe she has to go somewhere, All right, night ended. Tomorrow I'll see her again. Right? Tomorrow comes. It's another night of event. I see her. I walk up to her with like a little bit of just like some confidence, familiarity. And I ask her if she wants to dance that night, and she says no. And she just like she's so cold about it, and it's just like that's all I know. All I know is defeat. All I know is no's. All I know is rejection. And people still tell me to like look at the bright side of life. Like, what's the bright side? I don't have any bright side. I'm a hermit. I'm outcasted from society. I don't even know if this video makes any sense, but I'm the babbling loner. It doesn't have to make any sense. I'm just talking. I'm emotional. I'm hurt right now. I'm reflective. I'm hurt. I'm thinking about how I feel like my life is ending and I don't have any beautiful moments to look back on. I don't have any beautiful wins with a woman. I don't have any girls I could call my own. Any woman I've had intercourse with, I'm ashamed of it because they're that hideous. Paper bag over the head type of thing, And it's just, I don't know, man. Just, not having any romantic success. It really will set you up for failure. And it just hurts knowing that I'm just getting older and I won't have any romantic success, but I hope this video made sense. If it doesn't, whatever. Peace out.